Hey guys, I should have started this video like 2 weeks ago, but I didn't because I can't keep myself from messing with things. So I had a customer in about 12 years ago, and he said, hey, we were just talking while I'm working on his truck. He's like, yeah, I got two old Honda mini trails in my barn. And at that time I was really only into CT70s and really wanted one, which I still haven't found for the right price yet. But and 12 years later he comes in, I'm like, oh, you're the guy with the old mini trails. And since then I gotten into all kinds of mini bikes, and I ride a Grom and just everything tiny. So I was like, yeah, you want to buy them? I said, yeah. So we worked out a deal, and one was complete, but he bought it, said it wasn't running. He bought it from a guy who wanted to fix it, and it wasn't running when he got it. The guy I got it from bought it in 1997 from this guy. He gave me all the paperwork and everything, and it was one complete bike and then a frame with a motor that had holes in it, multiple holes in it, and had tires on that were just, the wheels were rusted to useless. The front end, the forks were just jiggling around like jello. And I thought, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to restore the complete one to original, because they're just badass the way they are. And the second one, I'm just going to strip everything off the frame and build a little monster out of. So I got on Amazon, I ordered a Lafon, whatever, 140 motor, and started tearing the bad one apart. And as I got the thing completely stripped down, first I noticed the one axle adjuster is completely gone. Like, it should be like that. If I'm gonna be riding it on the road with a 140, you're gonna need that. Not a big deal. I got a plasma cutter welder. It's gonna fix that, no problem. That didn't bring me down too much. I got all the metal ready. It's gonna start cutting and welding. And after I yank the forks off, well, it doesn't really do it justice, and it doesn't want to focus. But this is super oblonged. Yeah, the bottom's worse. What I think is either some kid or some not very smart previous owner must have took it apart, put it back together without the bearings in it or something, and just put like a impact gun on the bolt through the neck and just mushroom the crap out of it. So if anybody knows a way to fix that, I mean, I've got ideas. It's going to take a lot of work. I don't want to cut the tube out because it's got the VIN tag on it, but whatever. So this motor's already in the mail, paid $550 for it. I start tinkering around with the complete bike, and it wasn't as good as I thought it was. So I bought all the stuff to reseal the tank. It ended up having a pinhole right there, and at some point somebody tried to seal it with the red coat, and very poorly. I mean, there was like 3/4 of an inch in the very bottom of it, like a sponge. It was all falling apart. It was awful. So I still don't know how I'm going to fix that. I let it soak in acetone for 2 weeks with nuts and bolts shaking it up, and it got like half of it out. People say airplane paint stripper. Some real nasty stuff. Maybe I'll try that. But anyway, so I just started tearing that one apart, thinking I already paid for this motor. I'm gonna build it out of the good bike. So what any good vlogger would do is start the project without recording any of it. So I'll just catch up to where we are now. Got the 160 mounted in there. That was not easy. There is that much clearance, and it's not inverted forks, so it's not going to get any closer on bumps. Issues I've run into so far. First, the stock pegs from the 50, the transmission is a lot wider on the 140, so I had to cut, clean, and weld a wider section in there. I will clean that up. This is basically the mock-up. When I get everything wired and running and started in the way it's supposed to be, then everything gets torn back down again. These freaking fenders, to get the long fender that they came with in 71, it's like $180 freaking dollars for one, but I need one. I'm gonna get the original seat redone. I'd like to use the tank, but that's gonna be an issue. I took off the license plate holder and the light, polished up the lenses and repainted that. It'll come out perfect, but epoxy paint hides some good stuff. I got two new tires. I was able to save one wheel from the bad one, clean the crap out of that, and used appliance epoxy paint, and it came out pretty nice. But issues, I'm going to have to cut and re-weld and make up a new rear brake, because yeah, not stepping on that. The carburetor, I'm not leaving this one on, but this is the one that came with it for mock-up reasons. This isn't tight yet, and it's already touching the frame. So I ordered another intake, didn't realize it was coming from China, so it won't be here for like a month. I believe it should be a little shorter, and it's slotted where these bolts are, so it's adjustable, so I could bring that out a little more. Might have to go with a 90-degree carb cable. Breather is against the frame. The motor comes with a 428 front sprocket. The stock Honda was a 420. So again, coming from China, 428 rear sprocket. And got the chain. I actually ordered a new front fork setup that has a disc brake on it. If I don't like the way it looks, I'll just rebuild this front end. I've got a shorter clutch cable coming because, yeah, new handlebars coming. I just put the new grips and throttle on, but I gotta get a shorter throttle cable, and I'm gonna need, it's a chrome lever on the brake control on the new forks, so I gotta find one that matches, and it's not easy finding a chrome housing and chrome lever, because it's stupid, and every idea I have ends up a nightmare. What else? Exhaust. There's a guy, a great channel, if you're thinking about making one of these street legal and putting a bigger motor in. It's Street Legal, what was it, Street Legal Mini Bikes and Scooters. But he's in California. He's got a yellow 69 hardtail, 68 or 69, and he has a 125 in it, and he's pushing 70 on the highways, well, on the street. and the videos are just awesome, ripping around like mad on it. But I dropped him a message, and he tipped me off to the exhaust, I think it was from T-Bolt, that bolted right up to his with no modifications. I'm gonna order the same one. I know the 140 is slightly different, but I should be able to make it work. What else? Anything else in here got tires. Got the other tire up there on the wall. Got the chain, petcock, spark plugs. The old exhaust was pretty cool looking, but this is how restricted they are. That was the stock 50 exhaust. That's how it fits into the other. Anyway. Then the coil and the CDI box. And some miscellaneous hoses. There's my Manco, the Predator in it. So anyway, I just wanted to make the beginning, since it's not the beginning anymore, but the start, as starty as it is. So, got a slew of parts coming in next week. That front end should be actually at my house right now, and I'll make an update when I do some more work. Later.